Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I'm Yamzib.
And I'm Zavi. We are so pumped to be your peer language coaches today. Our big goal for this session is actually really simple. We want to help you guys, especially if you're just starting out as beginners, transition into speaking really natural, everyday English.
Exactly. We're going to share some incredible little tools that make communicating so much easier, even when you feel completely stuck. All right, let's just dive right in.
So, Zavi, tell me the absolute truth. Do you ever just completely freeze up or panic when a native English speaker is talking way too fast and you literally can't catch a word?
Oh, 100%. It happens to literally everyone. It's like your brain just totally short circuits and stops working. But today we're going to learn exactly how to handle that exact situation like a total pro.
Now, when that panic hits, your very first instinct is probably to just blurt out, "What?" But Yamzib, why is that actually a kind of bad idea?
Well, just shouting what when you're confused can come across as a little culturally indelicate. It sounds pretty blunt, almost like you're interrogating the other person.
Right, exactly. So instead, the right move is to use what we call survival phrases. These are super polite, simple little responses that instantly relax the conversation and help you actually connect with the person.
And here is our quick roadmap for the explainer. We've got 7 absolute essential survival phrases to practice today.
We'll be walking through, sorry, can you repeat that? What does something mean? How do you say something? What do you mean? Know what I mean? And finally, the magic of body language. Let's get right into the first one.
So, starting off with phrase number 1, simply saying, sorry, excuse me, or pardon. For our Urdu speakers listening, the simple meaning here is just maaf kijega.
It's basically the perfect polite substitute for saying, what? And here's a pro tip for sounding like a native speaker. Try to soften that sharp T sound if you're using other words. But if you're just saying, sorry, make sure your voice goes up at the very end, almost like you're asking a question.
Let's actually practice this one together. You'll want to lean forward just a tiny bit to show you're really interested, and try saying it exactly like this. Sorry? I missed that last part. Can you say it again? See, that just sounds so incredibly friendly. It instantly creates a warm connection with whoever is speaking, and trust me, they'll be more than happy to repeat themselves for you. And that actually brings us right to our second survival phrase. Can you speak slower? In Urdu, that translates to Kya aap thoda ahista bol sakte hain?
A lot of beginners are super afraid to ask this. But asking someone to slow down is a real game changer. It actually relaxes the entire conversation for everyone. It takes the pressure right off of you, and it honestly takes the pressure off of them too.
Let's practice the tone for this one, because tone is key. You want to sound confident but really friendly. Listen to this. Can you speak slower? I'm still learning English. Spot on. See how smooth that is? Whenever you openly admit that you're still learning, native speakers will completely naturally adjust their speed. Plus, they usually feel way more authentic and relaxed speaking with you. Okay, moving on to our third survival phrase, and this one is just unbelievably helpful. What does blank mean? In Urdu, you're simply asking, is lafz ka kya matlab hai?
Guys, this is a brilliant trick for picking up new vocabulary. If someone is talking and you miss just one single word in a long sentence, you really don't need them to repeat the whole entire thing. Just ask about that one specific word.
For instance, let's pretend we're chatting and I didn't understand the word survival. I just drop it right into that blank space perfectly and ask, what does survival mean? I haven't heard that word before.
I love that. It really shows the other person that you are fully paying attention and that you're genuinely interested in learning from them.
But wait, what if you're the one trying to think of a word and you just blank? That's exactly where phrase number 4 comes to the rescue. How do you say blank?
The simple Urdu translation is "Isko English mein kaise kehte hain?"
Yes, this phrase is literally your best friend when an English word just completely escapes your brain. Instead of completely freezing up and stopping the whole conversation dead in its tracks, you just use this little formula. Let me show you how it works. Let's say I'm telling a story about a book, but my brain gets stuck and I can only think of the Urdu word kitab. I would just say, how do you say kitab in English? Ah, book. Thank you. And boom, just like that, you've bridged your native language right into English. It keeps the whole conversation flowing super smoothly without you ever getting stuck or feeling awkward. All right, our 5th survival phrase is, what do you mean? In Urdu, this is simply, aapka kya matlab hai? And Zavi, I feel like this is just so much more natural than stiffly announcing, I don't understand, right?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, native speakers almost never say I don't understand in normal, casual social situations. By saying what do you mean, it shows that you totally heard the words, but you just need the core idea explained in a slightly different way.
Let's act this one out really quickly. If I'm a bit confused by something you said, I can just politely prompt you by saying, "What do you mean by that? Could you explain it differently?"
It's such a lifesaver. This phrase totally saves you from any awkward embarrassment. It saves face, and honestly, it makes you seem a whole lot more confident in your communication skills.
Next up is phrase number 6, know what I mean. And the simple Urdu meaning here is meri baat samajh aayi.
Oh, native speakers absolutely love this one. It's basically the best way to double-check that people are actually following your story. But it's also a fantastic way to check for a little empathy, just to see if the other person truly understands where you're coming from and how you're feeling.
Let's hear how this sounds in a real sentence. Let's imagine I'm sharing a little frustration about studying. I'd say something like, English grammar is sometimes very tricky. Know what I mean? It just adds this really nice, conversational, relatable flair to everything. It naturally invites the listener to agree with you, and it connects you directly with them right in that moment. Okay, Zavi, we have a massive percentage to talk about, 50% to 80%. What in the world do you think this represents?
Well, prepare to have your mind blown. Psychologists actually estimate that 50 to 80% of our entire communication is completely nonverbal. That means how we sit, how we look at someone, and how we move matters literally just as much as the actual words we say out loud.
And that brings us perfectly to our 7th and final phrase, which, surprise, is actually an action. Body language, lean forward and show interest. Or in Urdu, aage jhuke, dilchaspi dikhaएं.
Yes, having an engaged, interested physical posture is a massive secret to real cultural fluency. When you lean just slightly forward, act confident, and physically show you want to connect, people instantly feel so much more comfortable speaking with you.
All right, now let's transition over to a very special bonus language coach tip, reduction. This is basically what happens when native speakers change or completely drop sounds in spoken words just so they can talk faster. In Urdu, we can think of this concept as alfaz ko milak kar bolna. Guys, this is the ultimate hidden secret to finally understanding super fast English. Native speakers almost never pronounce every single letter perfectly clearly when they're chatting quickly.
Let's compare how this transforms a sentence. In very formal, stiff textbook English, you might say, I don't want to hear it. Yamzaib. But watch how it completely morphs when a native speaker says it fast. It magically becomes, I don't want to hear it. The crisp T sounds in the words don't, want, and to are literally just completely dropped.
Let's actually practice this one together, Zavi. Let's audibly drop all those T's and connect the words perfectly like a native speaker. You ready? I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh man, that is actually super fun to say. By practicing how to drop sounds and connect your words like this, your listening comprehension is going to drastically improve, mainly because you'll finally know exactly what to listen for.
Well, we have covered so much amazing ground today. So I just have to ask, which survival phrase are you going to practice today?
I enthusiastically encourage all of you, our fellow peers and beginners, to grab just one of these phrases and start building a habit with it right now. Whether it's asking, what does that mean? Or just simply leaning forward to show a little more interest, these tiny steps are what will make you a truly confident English speaker. Thank you so much for joining our explainer today. Keep practicing, you guys.